Hey peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Deeva here. Welcome to another edition of Dish with Deeva. Real talk with real people, because I have some of the realest and the real coolest people on the planet on this show right here. Welcome to another edition. So good to see you all. Thank you for joining me each week. Much appreciated. Want to remind you, next week is February 4th, first of the month. So you know what that means. Northwest Nightcap is coming up. Northwest Nightcap. We talk about all the entertainment stories over the month that you might have missed. The juicy stuff. We got a whole list of things coming up too, and we have some really cool segments coming up that you won't want to miss. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the introduction because you can't help but see the gentleman to my right, your left. Mr. Kurt KC Clayton is joining me, producer extraordinaire, musician, music director for the legendary R&B group Confunkshun, and my bro. Hey, K-Cee, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm not going to put you on the hot seat.
No hot seat, huh?
No hot seat tonight.
Not tonight. Not tonight. But we're getting you on the hot. We're getting you. See. Anthony and I were talking about you. We like, that's going to be a thing. That's going to be a thing. Every show, that's going to be a thing. Now, it's an inside joke, y'all, so you have to tune in this Thursday to find out. And K-Cee's in the hot seat. Then trust me, you don't want to miss it. All right. So K-Cee is joining me. Got to give a shout out to his beautiful wife, Miss Princess Robin, which is how we met. Yes. My girl, Princess. So Princess and I, go way back, Rainier Avenue Radio days. We met. We did a show together. We did our own shows. She has a show called Traveler's Guide. Gonna give her a quick plug here to Venus and Mars, all about relationships on all 8 online platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, and so on and so on. She's also part of Northwest Nightcap as well. Anyway, check out that show when you can. Okay, yes. So now Robin and I met. That's my sis. We hung out. One day we're chit-chatting. She mentions, blah, 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 Batman, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Batman? Man, K-Cee's wearing a Batman shirt, okay?
That'd be me.
One day on Nightcap, we'll have to have y'all tell your love story. But long story short, she's talking about this guy. She's nicknamed him Batman. He's really cool. He's really cute and all these things. And, he just became like part of the family. They got married and the rest is history. But it's history. It's a fun story. But anyway, so that's how I ended up meeting K-Cee, which is awesome. I just love telling the stories of all the people I met. So now K-Cee, also being a music producer, we just had one of your artists on, brand new artist, Mr. Chameleon, was on last week, had a wonderful time with her. She actually gave me another guest that I'm going to have on in February. So,
okay, cool.
I'm excited about that. Also, all kind of fun stuff coming out of Memphis.
We're doing the connects.
Doing the connects. I love it. The networking. And I forgot to mention this. You're in Memphis.
Yes.
Okay. For those watching, he's in Memphis, and there's a lot of hot talent coming out of Memphis. So stay tuned. I'm gonna try to promote him as much as I can on this show. Real quick, Princess says, "Laugh out loud, Batman." We're in the Batman shirt.
Yeah. Yes. Batman and Robin forever.
Batman and Robin forever. I love it. Anthony says he's not a bigger Batman fan than me. Anthony is a big Batman fan. My boy is like, he loves him some Batman. Shout out to Anthony Adams, also a member of the Night Crew.
Trust me, I tell Anthony, I got some Batman gear that I know he don't have.
The battle is on. All right. So, okay, K-Cee, let's just kind of go back in time for a quick little minute for the folks.
Okay.
Now you what instruments? What all the instruments that you play? I know you're a keyboardist, but you play any other instruments?
Yeah, my primary instrument is piano and keyboards, and synthesizers. And then on top of that, of course, drums and programming. But like even when I was in college, I played upright bass and violin and trombone all through high school and a lot of the brass stuff. So a little bit of everything, The only one I cannot claim is guitar. For some reason, I cannot. My kids can play guitar. I cannot play
Really?
guitar. I have guitar sounds that I can, manipulate, but that's the only one that I cannot do.
Okay, that you sound like you got a lot going on anyway. So what's one guitar? So what's your favorite instrument then?
My favorite instrument is piano.
Piano.
Love piano. Yeah.
How old were you when you first learned to play?
You know what? I started taking lessons when I was 7.
Oh wow!
But we grew up with a piano in the house.
Okay.
So I was always tinkering with my brothers and sisters when I was like 3, 4, 5. Didn't know what I was doing. But they were like, hey, he's pretty cool. And my mom was like, oh, my mom and dad was like, oh, okay, we might have some here. Let's,
Now, do you have a musical family? Are you all part of music somewhere?
My mom started out playing in church, and my because I'm the youngest of 6 siblings. My oldest brother passed, but my other brother that's near me, his name is Alan Clayton. He's an artist in his own right because he plays sax. He plays saxophone. In fact, he has 2 shameless plug. He has 2 albums that I produce and co-produce with him, which is kind of like gospel according to jazz albums and a Christmas album.
Nice.
So it's really, really nice. I'll send you a copy of it. It's really nice.
Please do. Yeah, sounds awesome. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, so piano, musical family. Now, do you remember the first song that you wrote or played?
Ooh. The very first song that I actually the very first song that I actually wrote and penned, and I actually got a grade for it in a class. I wrote a song about Martin Luther King.
Oh, nice!
I wrote a song about Martin Luther King, and I mean I charted it out and all that kind of stuff, and it was for my English class in school, and I wrote it out, and then I had to play it, of course, in clay. They were like, "Oh, hey, these guys,
got some talent."
And a partner of mine was like, "Hey, man, put me on there as writer so I can get a grade too."
Right.
No, bro, you got to get your own.
I love it. Hey, you got to be creative with these things.
Yeah,
how to maximize it. Like,
there you go.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up a guitar. I was like 9. I was fascinated for about 6 months. My parents say, and then I was done with it. But I always loved guitar. It's one of my favorite instruments. When I hear it in a song,
guitar.
and
I love it.
Bass and whatever. But that's pretty cool. That's cool that your family's into the music biz and all of that as well. Okay, so now let's talk about prior to Confunkshun, were you just doing your own thing? Were you in another band? What were you doing before you hooked up with them?
Well, I've been in the industry since I was about 15.
Really? Okay.
My very first professional gig. Actually, I was like 15 years old, and my cousin, his name was Andrew Love, God rest his soul. He was one of the original members of the Memphis Horns, and he got me in on a gig with Rufus and Carla Thomas. I was 15 years old, and I was, and I
already had a gig. Wow.
Had a gig, in fact, they had to come to my house and ask for, my mom and dad's permission to take me on the road and all that kind of stuff. And and then I used to play around town with them. And then later, in my career, of course, you had bands around town, that I started and stuff like that. And then I got, a call from Larry Dotson, who was the lead singer of the Bar-Kays.
Okay,
and they're from in the Bar-Kays. They're from Memphis, and they were looking for another keyboard player. A good friend of mine was playing with them, and they said, "Hey, would you be interested in playing with the Bar-Kays?" And so I became a member of the Bar-Kays for a while.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
then I became the musical director for the Bar-Kays, and then while I was out with the Bar-Kays, then I met up with Howard Hewitt and Glenn Jones, and a lot of great artists, Regina Bell, Angela Winbush, and it kind of morphed. And there was we used to be out on a lot of funk fests. And it'd be like Cameo, it'd be like 3 or 4
all
acts,
the groups,
all the groups. And ironically, I got with Confunkshun by accident. What happened was we were the Bar-Kays, Confunkshun, and I believe Cameo. We were all on the same show, and it was in Oklahoma City. Never forget it. And what happened was, because we would always mess around with each other doing sound check. Well, this particular show, they called me up that week because their keyboard player couldn't make the gig. So they said, well, hey, since you're going to already be there with the Bar-Kays, would it be possible for you to play with us?
Yeah. And
I said, well, if you check with, Larry and James Alexander, who's, the founding member of the Bar-Kays, if they say it's okay, I have no problem with it. So they gave me the green light. They sent me the material. I'd never rehearsed with them. They gave me the material, and I never had a chance to rehearse with it. We met at sound check.
Wow.
And I did the gig, and after the gig, Felton Pilot and Michael Cooper, who are the leaders, they said, "Hey man, we got a few other gigs that he may not make."
Wow! So like you need a job, you want a job? Come over this way. I love that story.
How are you in that relationship with the Bar-Kays? Right?
That's what I'm talking about.
But and I did that. Ironically, I kind of did that with a couple other gigs. It was with a couple other acts. It was weird, but at the same time, it was kind of a blessing, and and it was an honor because I eventually did that with the Gap Band. I filled in, last minute. Hey, this guy can make it. Can you Gap Band? SOS Band.
I love the Gap Band.
The Daz Band. Yes. Lakeside. So all of the groups I grew up listening to, I ended up having to be able to grace the stage with them, and and go out on tour with them at different times.
What was your favorite? You said you did like a lot of Funk Fest, but was there like any favorite venues or favorite cities that you traveled to that you like to go back to frequently, or anything that stands out to you?
Well, first of all, Tokyo was always like second home for a lot of musicians.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Tokyo, because the fans are so appreciative, and although they speak no English a lot of times, but they know every word to your song. Really? Every word. Huh. In fact, I remember the first time I went, they brought albums that I had played on. Now I'm out there with Bar-Kays or Shalimar or whatever, and one fan, and I'm just sitting over in the corner while the artist, they're signing autographs, and then this fan comes up to me and says, "Hey, is this you?" And they brought this record out that I had played on like about 10 years. It was like some obscure record I had played on, and they had a copy of. They saw that I was coming, and they saw my name on the credit, and they said, "Could you sign this for me?" That lets you know how big of fans they are, and I'm like, "Wow, this is pretty cool." So so Japan, has always a sweet spot in my heart. So
that's very cool, very cool. Yeah, I've always heard that about Japan, that they really take like the artistry seriously. They're like true fans. They're not fair with their friends like a lot of people in the US. I love that. I love that. Okay, so Confunkshun. What's your favorite Confunkshun song? Mine is, of course, I mean, it's just like the dance anthem. Fun, fun, fun.
Man,
that's
mine. My favorite Confunkshun song, I got a couple of them. Love Train, of course. Love Train.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep, that's a good one.
Love Train, Chase Me, and I would have to say Straight from the Heart.
Okay.
Which which the ballad,
that's
but it's just I mean, but with them it's just it's a lot of fun music. It's a lot of good music, and you just like playing out. Got to Be Enough, which is a funk tune. So it's I just love playing with the guys.
Well, the industry, it really has changed in a lot of ways. For me as like a fan of music and all types of genres, but especially with R&B and funk, what I really miss is the full bands, right? Like groups like Confunkshun and the Bar-Kays and the Daz Band, and you go see them in concert, it's like a full stage, full band, every instrument. It's somebody like, dinging the Dell.
It's not just a DJ up there.
right. Yeah. Every little instrument, whether it's a little chime on their fingers or whatever, it's like somebody has that instrument they're playing. And I miss that. I miss that when I go to concerts, even when I watch award shows now. It's usually just like somebody with a microphone and like you said, a DJ, and But what are some of the other ways the industries you like I say you've been in the business a long time, and since 15, it's changed, over time in different ways. What are one of the most significant ways it's changed to you?
I think one of the most significant ways that it's changed is probably the sale of records and the sale of music, and how digital downloads and things like has totally changed the game, because the revenue streams now are totally different, and how you can really make money, because now everything's about likes. Well, a lot of time likes doesn't turn into profit. You can have, it's like, you can have 10,000 likes on YouTube, but that's only like maybe you probably made $1. Whereas back in the day, people went out and you bought a 45, or you bought the CD, or you bought the cassette, and that's how records actually went gold and platinum. So it's really, really hard now, because and now because of illegal downloads and and like I said, you put a song out and 2 days later it's up on YouTube for everybody to hear for free. Until you get 1 million likes, and then 1 million likes turns into, oh, hey, you got 1 million likes. Well, that turns into a couple $1,000, but that's no money. But at the same time, you're spending the same money and energy in producing the record. You're still going into the studio and spending those hours, arranging and recording and mixing and mastering. So I think that's the biggest. One of the biggest things, and I'll say one other thing, which is a good thing now. Independent music is becoming more prominent. You don't have to have a label to basically be relevant. Back in the day, you had to get signed to a major label. You had to have that machine to kind of move you. Now with social media and stuff like that, you can find your own order. Exact same thing that we're doing, like with Kiki Chameleon, and a lot of artists like that. Now, independent music, you can find your own orders. You don't have to have these major labels, because a lot of the major labels are gone now. But at the same time, you can become relevant by grinding and doing your own hustle now.
Yeah, and I can see that. And when you mentioned going out and buying the records, I just have these memories of like my dad taking my brother and I to Tower Records. It was Tower Records here in Seattle.
Oh yeah,
and it was here too. Every Saturday, it was like an event. Every Saturday morning, we couldn't wait. Yeah, when we're going to Tower Records, and we had a little allowance, and we get our favorite, albums and whatnot, and 45s or whatever. I miss that.
Oh yeah, we had all the Jackson 5 records. Come on now, it's like the 45s. Because we had Tower Records, we had Peaches. I don't know if you all had Peaches.
I don't remember Peaches.
But that was part of the thing, and that's how we, and that was, like I said, that was a treat to be able to buy those records, and even it had that physical product where you can read the credits. Because I was always all about the credits, and nowadays I think that's another thing that's changed, because when you download stuff, you don't get the opportunity to see the credits, all the people that's behind making that record, who the drummer was, the bass player, and where you buy those Stevie Wonder records, you can see, you can read the liner, or you can read the lyrics. You can't do that.
That was the other thing. I like pull out the sleeve with the lyrics. I used to love that. Like I still, I think you're right. That's a huge thing that's changed. That I think it's taken away from, honestly, a lot of the fun of it. I'm gonna get to a few comments. Let's see. Oh, Chris Bennett, I see you, boss. The Diva's in the building. Keep the faith, he grinding. Thanks, Chris. Anthony, let's see. Gap Band had the greatest hits in high school.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Charlie Wilson, Gap Band or post Uncle Charlie. Yep.
Shout out to Uncle Charlie.
Let me get my 45 of fun out. Kiki, hey Kiki.
What up, Kiki?
Them some jams right there. Yes, indeed, some jams. Anthony, I play air bass. Napster was a game changer for the worst. Napster. I forgot about Napster.
Oh yeah, it was big controversy.
Yeah,
they the ones decided, well, music should be free. To who?
Exactly.
But,
so you put all the work in, like you said, you got all these people doing all the stuff behind the scenes, and there's the artists. how are y'all supposed to pay your bills if the music is free? That makes no sense.
Because and that's been kind of like a stickler for a lot of musicians, because unless you actually make it, a lot of people don't view what you do as a real job. They like, oh, you're a musician, so what's your real job? What's your day job? It's like, no, this is a real job. You know, musicians and artists, they study longer to on their craft than a doctor or a lawyer, because you know you've been singing since birth. You know, you've been studying music since you were a kid. You know, you don't think about being a lawyer until you get into high school or college, you know. So and so that's been kind of like a lifelong stereotype, as if musician, you're not it's not a real job unless you are at a certain level, unless you have a certain status. And for me, that's something that I always try to push back against and let them know this is a real job.
It is a real job. And, you know, it's not something that you go and I don't feel you might kind of fine tune it, but I feel like most musicians that I've met and know or knew growing up and, you know, maybe still doing it now, whatever. You kind of have to have it. You know what I mean? You have a little bit of that in you, and then maybe somebody can help you bring that out further. Or maybe you just are talented enough, and you know. So yeah, it's definitely definitely a knack, and a should be a well-respected craft and art. Okay, so I want to get your opinion on like these reality shows, like the American Idols and the, you know, I mean, we talked about how, like, you know, with social media and like, you got YouTube and you can upload videos. A lot of people like what's his name? Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube. But what do you think about the reality shows? What's the other one? The Voice, and you know.
Well, the reality shows, you got to realize, and the story behind a lot of those, the reality shows, and you know, those are basically label-driven situations. You know, a lot of times, the winners are already, you know, there. The album is already done. All that those shows are just another tool for marketing. You know what the product is. Yeah, the album is already done. It's just like, you know, they already have this slate of songs that's already written.
Okay.
Right. So, and then, but they just build you up, and build up the hype. So that way, because if you notice, when the winner, you know, when they finally announce the winner, the next day their single is uploaded. Well, that's
a really good point.
So that and that's just another marketing. That's just another marketing skill, which that's great. You know, it helps build up the hype, and at the same time, it gives a lot of artists an opportunity to be seen by other labels or other producers that may want to sign them. So, I mean, it's all marketing.
Interesting. You know? Yeah. That's what it is. It's always about the marketing, right? It's all about at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar. Anthony says Prince said it best about the reality shows. They're great, but I find myself rearranging the music in my head. Speaking of Prince, you were telling me a story before we went live about you worked on a song with Prince or did a song with Prince. Tell us the story.
Well, it was I was working with a good friend of mine. His name is Gerald McCauley. Big shout out to Gerald McCauley. He's out in LA. And we used to do a lot of these jazz records. We did a lot of smooth jazz records with Boney James and Peter White and Tom Scott. And Gerald was doing his record. It was called Groove Metropolis. And he had like multiple artists, Al Jarreau, Take Six, you name it, they were on there. And so, we were doing this one song, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to put guitar on it later. Like, I got the guitar player coming by later on. I said, oh, okay, well, cool. And he said, yeah, Prince is going to come through. I'm like,
like, what?
and basically, and he had Prince, and we were at the studio, and basically, because we had did, you know, on some of these songs, we had like, it was myself and George Duke and I want to say it was George Duke, Jerry Peters, man, there's a lot of people that I've always grew up, you know, just admiring. And we're doing this session, and all of a sudden Prince just walks in. No bodyguard, you know, because you're thinking, man, Prince coming.
Oh, right, whole entourage.
And none of that. He just comes in, just to, you know, just comes in, he sits down, you know, and he listens to it a couple times, and he's just like, you know, playing like some rhythm, because he's a musician by trade, and he's and he's a lover of music.
Right.
And so he comes in and he plays on his track. He's like, hey, man, you know, man, you guys sound great up in here, man. And we just shot the breeze. And I'm thinking,
were you starstruck at all, K-Cee?
You know what? When he initially said it, it caught me off guard. But then I wasn't I don't think I've ever been starstruck. I might have been starstruck one time, and that was years ago. And once again, a friend of mine, Gerald McCauley, he got me a gig with Stevie Wonder, and they called me up. I had just got back from Japan, so I was jet lagged, and he called me up and said, "Hey man, Stevie needs a keyboard player for this gig. Are you interested?" He called me up, and I gave him only one name. And I told him it was you. And I told him that you live in Memphis. He's like, well, hey, if you vouch for him, he's good. And I thought I was dreaming. And so the next day I get a phone call from his people, say, hey, thank you for agreeing to do this thing for this. I'm like, who is this? And, wow. And so they flew me out to do the rehearsals, and we rehearsed like about 9 hours. He wasn't there doing the first half of the rehearsal. He came in like later that night. Okay. But still, I had my whole setup, and then also he walks in. I'm like, oh man, I done forgot all my notes.
Oh my god! Like, oh no! Right, like so, he's really here.
You mean he coming in right now?
Wow!
But no, he came in, and he was really good. But the funny thing about it was, he called me, and just real quick, he called me before I got out there. Right. And so this number popped up on my phone that I didn't recognize. Yeah. And so I'm like, hello. And they're like, hey, is this K-Cee? I'm like, yeah. And he said, hey, man, it's me. I'm like, okay, who is me? Hey, man, it's me. I'm like, look, I ain't got time to be playing with nobody. Who is me? And I hung up. No. I am not lying. I hung up the phone. Call right back. Goodness. So my thing is, look, I ain't got time for no play. He's like, this K-Cee? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's me. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Who is me? Then he said, who did you just sign up to play with? And I said, oh my goodness. And I said, Stevie? Hey man, I was, oh my god, I felt like I was so embarrassed. And it was weird because I was, and we just had this one-on-one conversation. And he thanked me. He thanked me for just being a part, of it, because he was trying to just do a stripped down situation of his band and stuff. He was trying to go back to the basics, and he just thanked me. He's like, I just want to personally call you and just say thank you for doing this last minute, and I appreciate it. And I was like, hey, this is all mine, brother.
That's what's up. I love it. What a great story. Yeah, that's a fun story.
Yeah, that was the first time I was starstruck. First and only time, I guess.
I think, I would definitely, I'd be a little starstruck with Prince, but I probably would pass out if I ever met Michael Jackson. I just, you
really pass out if you meet him now.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I see him now. It's going to be a problem. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. A couple more comments. Lisa said it's in your blood. Talking about the moon, talking about the music. Yes, Lisa, it is in your blood. You're either born with it or you're not.
Exactly. Totally.
Let's see. What did Anthony say? I'm sure he gets that a lot when he calls people. Right. He was totally messing with you. I'm sure. Like,
hey man, and I found out he is a practical joker. He is truly.
Is he really?
Oh, he is a practical joker.
Oh, that's funny.
He's a jokester.
Well, we're getting close to time, but before I let you go, I have some questions for you. I'm gonna do a quick round of Would You Rather.
Okay.
Okay. So I got 4 questions here. All right, here we go. Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna save the really juicy stuff for next week. I'm gonna go easy on you today. But trust and believe. Next week.
All right. I know you're gonna give me next.
You got it coming. Okay. Would you rather be without TV or without your phone for a week?
I'd probably be without TV because my phone is my lifeline to work.
Okay. Would you rather go deep sea diving or bungee jumping?
You have to pick none of the above.
Must pick one or the other.
Oh my God! First of all, and here's the thing, I fly so much, but I'm scared. I'm scared of heights.
Oh, are you? Interesting.
But I fly all the time. But so I would probably say I would probably take a chance on the deep sea diving though.
Okay. Let's see. Would you rather? Okay, if you got into a fight, would you rather have The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his younger days on your side?
Oh, Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
So would I.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was just a bodybuilder. The Rock was because his dad was Rocky Johnson, who was a real fighter.
Yes.
So The Rock. Yeah,
he has a new show coming out.
Yeah, he got a new show coming out.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Okay, last question. Would you rather be stuck on an island alone? Now, keep in mind, you have to depend on this person. You have to hunt food together. You're stuck. No help's coming for days and days and days and days. This is the person you have to be stuck with.
Robin.
Either. And the choice cannot be Robin.
Oh my.
Wifey can't be. Wifey can't be. Okay, she's out looking for you. She's out looking for you. You're lost. You're on the island. And your choice is either Kanye West or the Orange Cheeto, whose name shall remain nameless on the show. Our just recent past president. And we know they're both a little. So
if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Kanye because Kanye is a hustler. But and 45, he would be the one that try to make you do everything and then take off. So I ain't.
But he also might have a private jet that may come and rescue you at some point too.
Well, first of all, if we stuck on an island, we shouldn't be stuck on the island with him in the first place.
I agree.
I
completely agree.
Thank you very much.
And okay, so there you go, Kanye. All right, just having some fun there. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, K-Cee. We can talk on and on and on because you have some really fascinating stories. You met some super cool people, did some awesome work. Oh, real quick, you have a movie coming out. We don't want to forget that.
Yeah, myself, Boo Mitchell, who co-produced Uptown Funk, and a friend of mine, Al Capone, we did the music for this movie called Jasser, starring Lorraine Bracco, who's from The Sopranos and Goodfellas. And hopefully, I believe it's be coming out this summer, sometime. Hopefully, this summer or fall. Got that. Actually, tomorrow I'll be on my way to Nashville with Howard Hewitt to do a couple shows. We're gonna be in City Winery tomorrow, and Sunday we'll be in DC. Just he and I doing, the evening with Howard. Just he and I, piano and vocal type of thing. We do a lot of these intimate setting situations, COVID restrictions and all that kind of stuff. So we can be doing that. And
so things are opening back up, kind of, sort of,
slowly, because all these dates got moved back 2 or 3 times, and so they announced that let's try it this time. So I'm doing that this weekend, and just still in the studio. Just finished up, of course, the Kiki Chameleon project. So we're very excited about that as well, and just got a lot of things, and then here doing the thing with the wifey, with Travis Scott, the Venus and Mars, Princess Robin. Excited about that always. So and of course we're doing Dish with Deeva and
Deeva, Northwest Nightcap.
There you go.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. This coming Thursday, February 4th, 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
K-Cee's a member. Princess Robin, his wife, is a member. My homeboy Anthony Adams, he's a member. The crew, the Divas crew. We have a good time. I encourage you all to join us. It's a lot of fun.
She's not on the hot seat this week.
No. We saved the best for last. She'll be the next one. She'll be next month.
All right, okay.
You're in the hot seat this week. Don't be trying to pawn it off on her. I already got my questions ready. I've been ready for like a month.
I know y'all been plotting against me.
It will be fun. It will be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you so much for joining me. Continue the good work. You know, and we'll look forward to the movie. We'll look forward to Kiki's album coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And just keep doing the things, you know,
always,
keep entertaining us. We need it. We need it. We need the music. We need all that.
Yeah. We're coming back. We come back little by little. You know, stay tuned.
Yes, yes. All right, peeps. Well, hey, if you like this little mug that I'm drinking out of here, I love the sayings. There's t-shirts, there's sweatshirts, and all sorts of things. My baby bro, who does the theme music for my shows, he has a Soul Consistent apparel on IG. And he's got like a 30% off sale, I think, going on now. So go check it out. Lots of cool stuff there. Check us out again this coming Thursday, Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Deeva, Anthony, Princess Robin, K-Cee. We're going to be talking about all things entertainment, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And K-Cee's in Deeva's hot seat, where we get to ask him any question, and there is no holds bar. We can ask him any question we want, and he has to give us the answer.
I answered the question. I said deep sea diving.
and the reason why I keep saying we're gonna get him is because K-Cee comes up with some wild questions, and you know he just comes out like "Pow!" You be like, whoa, let me die. How can I die? And it's always a good time, so we can't wait to put in the hot seat. All right, be sure to go to my YouTube channel, K-Cee Deeva Shows, like, subscribe, hit me up. You know, if you have a guest, if you're a musician, you're an artist, you're an actor, whatever. I like all things entertainment, so come on, we'll talk about everything. And I really love promoting, you know, new up and coming artists as well. So hit me up on IG, MZ, K-Cee Deeva, Facebook, K-Cee Deeva, Dish with Deeva Show, or Northwest Nightcap with K-Cee Deeva, all those pages. Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to get out of here. And I hope you will tune in this Thursday. You don't want to miss it. And I'll leave you with this. All right, later, peeps.